Okay, you're good to go.
All right. So thank you everyone who has joined. We are going to talk about the Green Building Fund today. This is our public hearing for our 2022 public hearing for the Green Building Fund. So what we'll be going over today is a overview of the Green Buildings Ordinance, a review of the Green Building Fund, provide some background and context about that fund, look at our fund balance and provide updates on what we're doing with that balance, and then our plan of action going forward. So for those who don't know, our Green Buildings Ordinance in Denver went into effect in November of 2018. And basically it requires developers and property owners to choose from a menu of compliance options for more sustainable development. The ordinance applies to buildings, new buildings larger than 25,000 square feet, roof permits or existing buildings, for existing buildings 25,000 square feet or larger, and then building additions 25,000 square feet or larger. And the different compliance options include, building certification such as LEED, providing a green roof on top of the building, or providing additional green space within the development site, using solar, renewable energies, and more energy efficient building design. The Green Buildings Ordinance is implemented by the Community and Planning and Development Department. And so we work with our partners there to oversee the ordinance. We also depend on our Green Building Ordinance Technical Advisory Committee, who provide their members from the community that provide advice and recommendations to ensure we are executing the Green Buildings Ordinance to its original intent. Another compliance option for the Green Buildings Ordinance is payment into the Green Building Fund. So project teams can choose to pay, and instead of doing the other compliance options, they can pay a fee of $50 per square foot of green space required, which would be calculated by community planning and development staff. And this fee is paid before permits are issued. Just a quick overview on the fund. So money from the fund is then used, again, we're talking about the Green Buildings Ordinance, so we still want to have that positive impact from the fund, even when the green building designs are foregone. And so we use those fund monies for the purpose of acquisition of green space within the city, improvements to existing green space, for water quality improvements and green infrastructure, for urban forest protection and expansion, for green roof creation, and for solar adoption and energy efficiency projects. And we definitely have a priority for low income areas that have less green space and are more susceptible to the negative effects of urban heat island. Our current balance in the Green Building Fund is approximately $806,000. At this time, there are no major updates for the funds, which is a great segue to our next slide, which is kind of next steps. Now that we have that, that threshold of funding available with which we can actually, do some of these projects for which are allowable uses for the Green Building Fund. Our plan of action, or our next steps, is we'll be working with staff from other departments within the city and county of Denver to identify potential project opportunities to fund within those allowable uses. And really establish and create a process by which projects are vetted and selected by representatives from across the city and county of Denver. We'll be looking at, the impact of the project, the benefit to the community. We'll be making sure there's an equity focus on projects, and then other kind of other factors determined by our selection committee. And so as part of our public announcement on our website, we solicited feedback. So if folks have additional questions or concerns related to the Green Buildings Ordinance that they didn't submit in advance of this hearing, we can open up the floor to public questions or comments now. Folks can also email us at energyprogram@denvergov.org. And that is the conclusion of my presentation. And if there's anyone in the audience that has questions about the Green Buildings Ordinance or the Green Building Fund, I'd be happy to answer those now.
Thanks, Tom. I'm not seeing any specific questions. I say maybe we can, stop this meeting, let those go that are in attendance, and, we can stick on if anyone else has anything else they want to ask.
That sounds good to me. We have Lee. Thank you, Lee.
Okay, I'll go ahead and stop the recording.